This video is part of the series. I started exploring the question of what is the difference between painting from life versus painting from the photo. I'd like to invite you to see the other parts if you haven't already, because I feel like the other parts will give you some additional background. So here are the two time-lapse videos. When I saw these side by side, I wasn't surprised by what I was seeing, given the fact that the painting from the photo is basically copying 2D to 2D. The painting on the right appears correct in terms of placement of shapes from the very beginning. I put the shapes in the right place from the start, and I didn't have to correct things related to proportion at all, with the exception of the teeth, but I had trouble with rendering the teeth on both paintings for different reasons. Okay, so the painting on the left is done from life. There are structural issues that I started with. I'm sure you noticed that this isn't a surprise. Like I said, painting from life is more difficult, at least for me, because I, as the painter, am doing the 3D to 2D translation. I go into that in detail in the other part, so I won't repeat myself here. But here I clearly misread a few things at the beginning. You can see that I made one of the sides of the skull too wide, and there were a few other little things that I miscalculated from the start. But the good thing is that these issues resolve themselves as I progress, so I usually don't worry about them. Okay, side note, I've got a new GoPro camera and I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. The painting on the right reflects a lot of light, making it seem overexposed on the camera. That's because of how the easel was set up next to one of the windows. I noticed this before I started doing the painting from life, so I tried to improve the setup, but I think something else went wrong there, and that image isn't as sharp as the one on the right. So I'll have to figure out what happened here, but I'm hoping to improve the quality of the images significantly for next time. So bear with me. So going back to this, I also mentioned this many times in the other parts, but you can also see how different my palette was for each of these paintings. The painting from the photo has much more contrast, so my paint mixes for this side of the skull facing away from the light were much darker, whereas the painting from life doesn't have as much contrast, so my paint mixes were much lighter from the very beginning. I'm also going to post a video showing my paint mixing process for each of these paintings, so you can see some additional detail around that. Okay, so I just wanted to show you these side by side. I'm enjoying looking at these side by side myself and learning from both. But I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of the video and let me know if you have any questions.